Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, wait, wait. Huh? What? Hello? What is this arrow pointing to? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. How are we doing today? By hourglass figure, you mean the hourglass on the flag, right? The horse, of course. Oh my. Oh, we're just talking about the hourglass on the flag. Okay, all right, everything makes sense now. That makes sense. That's fair. That's fair. I got you. I got you. So I'm gonna be honest, because I don't know if I'm ever talking about this, if I've ever talked about this, but I'm usually sitting here during the first 2 minutes, but I wait because, you know, I'm remembering so many things. But the first thing is, okay, so I'm sitting here, and usually, like, I get distracted, like, I'll open Skeb or something, because I'm like, sure, I'll just, like, look at art or something for 2 minutes. This time I decided to open Steam. And did you know that Final Fantasy 16 is tagged with something called... It is a spectacle fighter. What does that mean? What is that? I've never heard that in my entire life. That's one of those games where I saw this when it was released, and it, like, looked really cool. But I don't think I've ever actually seen a full playthrough of it. I don't know. It just, like, looked cool. It means that the combat is boring aside from the flashing lights? I see. I understand. So... Oh, sorry, Unicorn said it's like DMC, but isn't DMC actually, like, hard? I thought the thing with DMC is that the series is actually, like, kind of difficult to play. Like, you look really cool if you do everything right, but, like, it's kind of difficult. You know what game's actually like that? The Gunvolt series. Man. It's like, oh, God. Gunvolt 3 was so good, dude. Except for Gunvolt. Man, it's so funny to me that, like... Sorry, I already thought Gunvolt 1 and 2, like, the story was crazy anime bullshit. And then in the third one, I feel like they really amped up the... Not amped up, but it's like... I'm basically trying to say I was not playing it for the story. It did not care. But I thought Kieran as a playable character was just so freaking cool. And I'm thinking back to actually playing that game, and I'm like, oh, but it's like so... I don't know. Like, those games just feel like not playable ever. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly. Like, in concept, it's so cool, and then, like, if you've played the same level 80 times, then you'll feel really cool. But, like, it's just so hard to do everything correctly. Oh, man. But, like, throwing the talismans and then zipping to the talisman thing you've marked and then, like, slashing it. God, so cool, man. So cool. People call DMC a spectacle fighter. It's somewhat hard. I see. Okay. This is the first time. Like, today I learned that spectacle fighters exist. Yeah, luckily it is not a game where you have to wear spectacles. Because that would be, that would make me look like a nerd. I would even wear glasses. I think that I've literally commented multiple times on my glasses, so... Unfortunately, there's no hiding that one. Or rather, I think one of my first outfits, or it's like, I debuted with 2 outfits. I mean, they were not great, but I did give myself 2 sets of clothes because I thought that would be, like, a big deal or something. I don't know. And the second outfit had glasses. And I'm like, they're like my glasses. They look like my glasses. I felt like they were, you know, it's like it didn't look good because it wasn't... Maybe because it wasn't super stylized? It's like one of the things, I don't know. Oh, I just realized I haven't had Twitch chat open. It's fine, no one was there anyways. Incredible. Yeah, also I've been hearing a lot about Expedition 33, which is beside Final Fantasy 16 in this menu that is scrollable. These are all games that I've heard about and that have been recommended to me, and I'm like, oh man. Man. See, I was gonna say, oh man, Blueprints is taking its fucking sweet time wrapping up. But I'm not actually in a rush to finish it. But I will constantly lament the lack of time that I have to do things. And I guess the questions that are like, you know, should I still be playing Monster Hunter? I love Blueprints, it's okay. That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah. Hopefully that will mean people are excited. That was ominous, and I don't... that doesn't mean anything. Don't... you can't play it, it's French! Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. I'll become French. Oh man. Yeah, one of the content creators that I consume is Seadog. And man, I think he has been playing it. I don't know how long the game is. I don't know if he's finished or whatever, but just that in my head, the British man playing the French game is just like so funny to me. But what I did see actually about the game was there was a... Oh, who was it? Was it a Mori clip? I think it was Mori. Calliope Mori. Is that Calliope Mori? Calliope Mori? But there was like a swimsuit section, I think, with one of the characters. I don't know if that's a character that you play. I don't know anything about it. Isn't Seadog Welsh? Yes. I mean, geography is not my greatest subject, but my understanding was that these are close together, or that he spent an amount of time developing the accent. I don't know. It's like easier to say that he's British, or like that's what he says. I think. Could have this all wrong. Okay, the clip that I saw. Okay. Character. Character model. We have like clap clap. Large behind. Nice. Large hips. Nice. We've got slender shoulders. Nice. We have not overdone chest size. And I'm like, God bless... I was going to say God bless America. Because I usually say that just as the funny joke. But I was going to say, I guess, God bless the French in this case. Like, God bless. Like, thank you. Thank you for having some amount of taste. Thank you. It's funny because it's kind of similar to when I played Genshin. Not on stream, but like over the, lockdown period. I played Genshin, and the thing that resonated with me about Genshin had nothing to do with like Genshin itself. Like, it was nice, I guess. Like, the universe was okay. I thought everything was cool. Like, it's kind of got that, You know, people compared it to Zelda a whole bunch. Like, it has that vibe and aesthetic. But the important thing about most of the characters in Genshin, okay, so we've got like Barbara, we've got Jean, we've got like Mona, we've got like Ganyu, and then you're asking yourself, what is the same about all of these characters? What is the tie? What is the tie-in? What is the tie-in of all of these characters? All of them are wearing some type of like tights or pantyhose. Like, everybody standing ovation, round of applause. God bless America. In this case, the game was developed in China, but incredible. It's like, it's just a sorry, I got distracted. I don't know, just something about like, wow, they put a lot of time into making sure that the leg wear is good. I'm like, fucking thank you. God bless. I don't think the Welsh take it as much of an insult as the Scottish, and certainly not as much as the Irish. Yeah, yeah. Interestingly, I know that he's talked about, like, Welsh history before and stuff. And I know he actually laments the fact that people, like don't... It's like they don't speak Welsh or something like that. It's like, no, you can like learn about this language or something like that. I didn't really express that thought very well, but it's kind of like, just, I don't know, this language exists, is cool, like, look at it. But obviously due to history, that has become more difficult. So, anyways, here we are. Hey, look. We are in the video game. We're gonna be doing what we normally... Hello? Did I just tab back into that? Dude was checking her out. What the... Dude, his eyes were like glued, man. What the hell? I didn't even have the game open. Damn, Rosso, you got something to say? Like, you want me to introduce you? Like... Hey, Giga, how's it going? What up? Del? I can call you Del. What up, what up? Yeah, so... We're doing what we normally do, which is we are going to just do a little bit of farming. I'll open up the room if you want to join me. You can go ahead and do that. Here's the lobby code. I will put it on screen in a moment. But yeah, we're just farming today. We only have a couple of hours until I have to go, which I hope people haven't really minded too much, but like, I actually think doing shorter streams has been good for me. And also, frankly, like, it'd be better if they were later in the day as well, but I haven't found it within myself to move every single stream to like 4. Because I don't have another reason outside of the fact that it's just like easier for me to wake up, get stuff done, make sure I'm mentally prepared or ready to like do stuff at closer to 4, and then, yeah. Anyways. Yeah, sup, Rants? I really like your VTuber model. Thank you. I made it myself. I did, in fact, make it myself, but that was 2 years ago. It's been a while. It's been a while since I made one. I should actually genuinely really consider making a new one, because I think it is possible that my art has improved enough where I can do that. For real? Yeah, absolutely. So, it's funny. I just went on this rant, and for the record, I would like to complain about the fact that, man, YouTube fucked me, dude. They absolutely fucked me over, man. So, all shorts are considered for monetization. And I would like to say that because of that, you can't turn it off. It has to be on. So I always feel obliged, instead of selecting no monetization, because I can't do that, I feel like whenever I'm saying some degen shit, I need to say like, yeah, I mean, I guess it qualifies as sexual content, I guess. Like, I'm talking about thighs, so maybe I should tag it appropriately, even though, like, it's not really. But the problem is I did tag it that way, and that short has been seen by 46 people, even though the majority of those people have, like, watched the entirety of the short, presumably enjoyed it, thought it was funny, whatever. It has only been seen by, like, 46 people. By comparison, a short that is uploaded that does not have advertising restrictions on it gets, like, 500 in the first hour. So my understanding is that because it is bad for advertisers, it was simply not pushed to the algorithm, which sucks, because that short, this was all a very long-winded way of saying, that short was talking about how, why does this model exist, why is this your model, etc., whatever. And it is because I am based in artist pilled. I just wanted to bring, you know, hair-shaped knight flag bearer girls with long hair into the universe. That is why I did this. That's why this model exists. And that is why it will continue to exist. Because there aren't more hair-shaped blonde flag bearer knight girls who will sit on my face. I don't think my model can sit on my face, unfortunately. Honestly, a tragedy, but yes. That is why I made it. That is why, because I needed to exist. I needed it to exist. So therefore, I made it. Lyria bro is actually looking into sculpting. Because, oh hey, and the leg bearer, yeah. What was it? He's looking at sculpting because there are supposedly not really people who have made figures of their preferred VTuber, preferred VTuber, of a VTuber they're a fan of. So he's like, I could just learn sculpting and then do that. Mind you, he also does stuff in like Warhammer. He does Warhammer sculpting. So I guess it's kind of adjacent to that, and he is actually capable of doing the thing. That's great. If not you, then who? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why it's that's why we do that. That's why we run that. I've got an announcement. I don't know if they actually do have an announcement. Yeah, how is I was wondering about this. How is Oblivion Remastered? Because I think I've seen a lot of people playing that as well, and it's definitely on the list of games that I'm like, oh, that's like actually, like, that looks like a good game. And when I played Oblivion, I did not have the same capabilities that I do as I do now. Does that make sense? I do not have the same abilities and capabilities, thought processes, and stuff. What other games do you have on your list? Yeah, I wanted to play, like, Expedition 33. I was thinking about that. Yeah, literally the things that I just had open on Steam. It was Expedition 33. I was thinking about playing Final Fantasy 16 just because it looked cool. Slay the Spire 2 when it comes out. There was another one. Oh, Silk Song whenever that comes out. I just watched Gigi play through Hollow Knight, which was great. Because she kept referring to Hornet as Silk Song. It's like, oh my god, is that Silk Song? Yeah. I thought that was very funny. You learned how to read? Yeah, I suppose so. I actually always wondered about something like Morrowind. Because I heard that Morrowind is another game that's like, well, if you read and you actually interact with the world, it's very fun. I don't know if I'd ever actually play it, though. I was thinking also, like, I've heard Final Fantasy IV is, like, good, and it turns out that they have it on Steam. Or they have, like, a port or something. Final Fantasy IV, like, the classic one. It's where, like, it has Cecil. That's another game that I played, but I didn't read anything. Final Fantasy IV is your favorite? Yeah, I heard it's very good. Like, Cecil supposedly has, like, a very powerful character arc, is what people tell me, and I haven't played it. Like, I don't know anything about it. So, yeah. It's also cool because Dragoons aren't cool. Dragoons are cool. Just, I don't know. I think one of my favorite things about Final Fantasy, and also now, I watched God, my words, they are not working today. I agree Dragoons are very cool. Yeah. It's like the Dragoon armor, but like that style of armor, right? It's like very anime-ified. I don't know how else to say that, but it's like the pauldrons are all like 2-layered pauldrons. Like the chest plates are like also 2-layered. Like it just looks really cool. Grand Blue Fantasy was what I wanted to say. Also has like cool looking armor designs that are very plated and overdone. I like that aesthetic. That is very cool. I know how I feel about... I mean, I guess I would think that generic knights are also cool. It's funny because I think, like, generic knights insofar as... there have been a number of times where knights are available as, like, maybe something that I could play. Like an archetype in Vanguard, or like knights as far as sure, let's join this Mizu quest. Tempered Mizu, this thing is going to kill me. Let's go. What is another one? Knights in Magic? It's just kind of like, I don't know, man. I guess the reason why I didn't play Knights in Magic is because the, like, archetype isn't incredible. Like, it's not very good. Also, yeah, like, what's another one? I really like Angels, but Angels in Magic are terrible. They're quite awful. I mean, they're not... It's just that, like, the Angels deck is, like, very clearly an Angels deck, you know what I mean? Whereas the way that I like to play card games, or, like, the way that I like to play Magic, even, specifically, is having a lot of interaction, like, having access to verbs, synergies, and stuff that I think are cool. Instead of, well, I I did the classic, which is that I did not bring frickin' Mega Potions. This is my favorite. Yeah, which is funny. I've been getting recommended a lot more Magic content, and I'm like, oh, these are things that I can talk about on stream, and then, you know, I kind of question how much anybody wants to hear me talk about Magic. But I got recommended a couple of videos now. Okay, I'm gonna need to actually... Oh, I guess there's honey here. No, please talk about Magic. Do you remember Unglued and Unhinged? Oh, you know what's funny about that? Is that I remember... So, my VTuber birthday, which I have said several times, is not technically my actual birthday, but is very close. I would say that it is the birth of me choosing to start making this model, because when I made the model, I actually did practice drawings for like a month. Like every single day I would do like several practice drawings just to like improve my skills, and then by the time I actually made the model, I was a little better prepared. To be completely honest with you, my first model still wasn't amazing, but why was I saying this? Unglued, Unhinged. Oh, yeah. I remember playing it over the holidays, because I think that's when one of the series was released. I don't remember which unset it was. But the point is, I do remember, like, drafting it at a friend's place, and I had a really good time, because it is a great set to just play as a meme. However, I will say that, I will say that my friends basically wanted to do like block constructed of that set, and there was like an infinite combo like with like by just melding two creatures together. I think that probably reveals which one it is, right? Unglued and unwhatever. Sorry, I just want to say this before I forget, but seeing as you both like Final Fantasy and know what Magic is, I'm so sad I can't buy the Y'shtola deck. Like, I'm actually so torn up about it. Like, I keep looking at it and being like, I can't, man. Like, this is not a good idea. But, like, it's very there. Final Fantasy XIV does, in fact, have cat girls in it, and Y'shtola is one of them. Unstable had host and augment. Ah, I see. Yeah, so it must have been unstable. What's a magic? Is that one of those Pokemon cards? Yeah, basically. I mean, it's the same. It's the same. Yeah, I would buy a Y'shtola magic card for the same reason that I'd buy a Vaporeon magic card. And I'm not going to elaborate any more than that. So, what was I at before that? Oh yeah, the unsets. I drafted it at around that time. Oh yeah, so, I keep getting recommended Magic videos because, like, I don't know. I feel like I don't actually care about Magic content, if that makes sense, because, like, I don't mean to sound, I guess, would the term be, like, stuck up, elitist, whatever? So there's something that I guess I value, personally, and it has to do with, like, creativity, observation, etc. Is that, like, I really don't like having outside inputs when I'm making something. because I feel like it distracts me from making what I want to make. I really, really do not care to hear more things, I guess. Like, I do creative endeavors in an ivory tower, basically. And I find that that's kind of the same with concepts, is that, like, I will make observations, and then I'll be like, that's interesting. Like, that's an observation, I'm gonna go park over there. But because I already have the observation in my head, it's not necessary that I actually, like, confirm or deny that observation with other people. It's like, well, it's just an observation. And I guess I trust myself to understand that all the observations that I make are, like, to some degree within a with a subjective lens, using my experiences as a background. It's like, I already know all those things. I'm not, like, conceited, if that makes sense. Like, I understand that there's value in other perspectives. But usually what I'm saying is that, like, I don't need people to reiterate those perspectives back at me, but I've been getting recommended a lot of content, I guess, that is talking about observations that I've made about, like, Commander, for example, things that I've thought of over the years, because, like one of the biggest problems that I've had playing Commander is that, like, people don't concede when the game is over, because they want to hold on to, like, some out or something. But they're, because, like, for example, some people might go like, oh, well, what if I top deck a farewell? And then, like, the blue player's holding, like, 3 counter spells. It's like, yeah, man, like, farewell, do it. It's like, well, what if I have, like, farewell in the uncounterable land? It's like, well, Court of Calling for Haven Interrupter plotted. Like, pair Haven Interrupter to Deadeye Navigator with infinite mana, all of the spells are countered forever. Like, it just doesn't matter, right? Like, there's a point in time where you can just go like, yeah, whatever, go next. Which, mind you, I don't actually want to rob people of the feeling of fighting back. Like, that's not a huge problem. I actually don't mind if people think like, no, I am playing to an out, like, this is what I'm playing to, and it's, like, kind of reasonable. So it's like, okay, sure, like, let's keep playing this game. I don't want to be too cynical. Like, all of these things with balance is what I'm saying. But yeah, so one of those things was people not conceding. I need to know what I'm farming. Sorry. And it's very hard for me to keep 2 thoughts in my head. And I guess the thing, it's not that people don't concede, right? Like, that's not actually the issue. The issue is more like, I wanted to make decks that could just end the game so that we don't prolong that kind of, like, middle of the road. Like, we don't prolong that, like, very grindy turn, like, 8 and 9 that feels bad for people if they can see that they're losing, basically. And, like, I ran into a problem there because, like, okay, let's say you're playing a game. Like, one of the things I noticed was, like, if I just Court of Calling for Craterhoof and everyone dies, like, that frequently makes people feel bad. So, okay, what if I play Pathbreaker Ibex without haste? So basically I'm saying I'm going to give the table an extra turn to try and figure out a problem, like an answer to my board state, and then, like, we can go from there. But the problem is that if you give them an extra turn, but you have sufficiently prepared yourself to counter everybody's, like, board wraths, or you have a way to, like, T-prod or protect your board, because that's a reasonable conclusion for you to come to. Like, I'm going to protect my board, but I will give you an extra turn. We can fight over that turn to figure this out. That actually still makes people tilted, because if you're playing well and you have accrued enough resources, then they'll try to contest your board, but you have all the answers. Like, so it doesn't help anything. This was like 8 years ago that I already explored this concept. And now I'm going to talk about something completely different, which is bystanding and single target removal, which I think it's very interesting in concept. Like, there are people who kind of go like, oh, why don't you remove that thing so I don't have to remove it? And, like, I guess for some people, they... You know what? Okay. I'm just going to do this because I have not done this the last like 5 streams, and it's tilting me that this keeps happening. Is I need to farm Crenadats. Okay? I just need to farm Crenadats. I need Crenadat skulls, and I keep not doing it. Okay, where are Crenadats? You. I need to kill you. I need like 8 skulls for several different pieces, and it keeps throwing me off. Okay. So... yeah, single target removal. So the observation is that in a multiplayer game, if you are spending one of your resources to deal with something that your opponent is doing, then you are at card disadvantage for needing to remove that thing. So people try to barter or wager based on that principle and be like, okay, let's say, for example, I remove Vorinclex. So this is an old example. Vorinclex is, it like freezes your mana for a turn. And people say something like, well, I can remove the Vorinclex, but I would like to not die in the next turn cycle, for example. So I think that these are somewhat reasonable or fair demands because you're going down a card or whatever. But there are some people who are more or less obstinate depending on like who you're talking to, who you're dealing with, right? And this is sort of the what people would call the like political landscape of Commander, which I don't even really like referring to it as that, because like usually the way that I handle table talk and stuff is like I want people to be playing to try and win the game. So like I am not going to attempt to screw you over with deals that I know are bad for you. Like I say the phrase "you gotta do what you gotta do" like 99% of the time, right? If I'm holding instant speed combo in my hand and someone's like, I can plow the Vorinclex, like, I want immunity, I will literally say you gotta do what you gotta do, because I know that the existence of the Vorinclex implies that, like, their removal is being contested, and if I tell them to contest the Vorinclex, I will win on the spot. So I'm basically like, listen, man, like, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Whether that forces me to wait for them to remove it, or that forces me to use my instant speed tutor to like get a different threat that they can contest with the sword splashers, whatever. I generally do not bait people into shields downing themselves. But yeah, I didn't actually watch the podcast of Distraction Makers, but I scrolled down. I don't know. I was kind of like looking for something to watch, and I didn't really actually feel like watching an entire video on the subject. But my understanding was that they were talking about how it is bad for you to play single target removal to an extent, based on this principle, right? And you're kind of like, you're putting yourself behind. And I think that as far as game design is concerned, this is like a good thing to acknowledge, right? Like if you were to make Commander in a, like as an actual game mode or something with like several more rules, like they brought up good points that are like, you know, it's not necessarily explicitly good for you to remove a player, so like giving people goals or reasons to want to remove a player I think is a good idea, so that it encourages players to actually attack each other and end the game and stuff like that. But oh man, I have so many Crenadate skulls. Now I can finally probably make all those things that I just like haven't made for 5 weeks. So, but the thing is that, like, one of the first comments, and I was like, this is something that I feel like they failed to acknowledge, is that, like, there are times where there is something that affects either you more than the rest of the table, or, like, you can't rely on, and that you can't rely on the rest of the table to deal with threats because of that purpose. So, the example that they gave was, if you're playing an artifact deck, and someone plays Meltdown to destroy all your artifacts, like, certainly that affects the mana rocks at the table, but also it affects you the most, because it also destroys all your creatures, it destroys, like, half of your lands. You're playing this artifact stack. So you want to have a counterspell for that point in time, and I think that that's, like, the main thing, or, like, the main reason why I play single target removal, or, like, I typically tend to play control style decks just simply so I have enough interaction, to be completely honest with you. Need Uth Duna Clause. I don't, because I've already made that piece. Is that like, listen, man, like, sure, I will allow other people to have removal spells at the table, especially in a game-winning scenario, then you can leverage that idea that, okay, well, everyone needs to deal with this, so therefore I will leave it up to the table, and I can potentially keep my own removal. And the balance of how many times you ask players to do that, if they are also aware of that principle, how many times they throw games, how many, you know, that is all there. Let's do a Zoshia. I need one Zoshia piece. And I'm gonna keep playing Sword and Shield, I think. So, do I have a field survey? We do. Let's do this one. But yeah, it's basically like the obvious thing to me, or like the conclusion that I came to, was that it's like, I don't want to leverage people at the table to do removal for me because I can't trust them to have the removal or use it in the right place at the right time, or use it specifically for my benefit because there are scenarios where it is not beneficial for them to do so, but it would be beneficial for me. And I'm like, there's all, like, that is why you should be playing removal. Not, like, I don't know, it's a little frustrating because I feel like people frequently go like, well, rely on the table. And there are certain cases where having, like, relying on the table in some way matters or can be beneficial to you, or like sometimes you just won't have the interaction. So it makes sense to be like, hey, table, we're going to die. You know, it is in everyone's best interest who is not the opponent that is trying to win the game right now for this to be stopped. If you do not have a removal spell, someone else might have one and stuff like that. But, like, in basically every other scenario, as I was saying, like, the thing that I normally say is you gotta do what you gotta do, like, 90% of the time, is that, like, your best way to win the game... So, the thing that I just said about, like, sandbagging removal, if it is not pertinent to you, your best way to win the game is to not use your removal spell. And I understand that from the perspective of my opponent, which means that I cannot rely on them to removal spell for me, and I'm not going to socially coerce them into doing so because I know it's not in their best interest. Right? And then you might be saying, well, Flares, doesn't that mean you lose a lot of Commander games? And the answer is fucking no! Play the goddamn game! It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating when people are like, no, guys, but the social contract and table talking, the people at the table and the deals and the whatever. And it's like, no. Play the goddamn game. Play Magic. Be a better Magic player. Holy shit. You can evaluate the threat at the table, and you can evaluate whether or not it is a good idea for you to remove the Vorinclex. You think about it. Stop asking me questions. I'm not helping you. I'm your fucking opponent. Like... Now, that's obviously the hyperbolized, like, cynical way of me saying this. Obviously, there are times that I make deals at the table. If I feel like it is pertinent enough, or depending on the power level of the deck, I might tell someone, yes, please remove the Vorinclex. I will not attack you for, like, at least 2 turns, whatever. These are still possible. But what I'm saying is that, like, there comes a point, if you're playing powerful enough decks, like, even frankly, like, level 3.5 decks can be at the level that it's like, no, just make your own evaluation of this. Like, I am also in a good spot. Or, like, my favorite is when, like, I'm clearly the enemy at the table, and then someone's like, hey, man, do you want to make a deal? And I'm like, you should not be making deals with me. I will fucking kill you. Like, I am playing Narset and I have a full board. You should not be making a deal with me. If I untap, you're all dead. Like, this is not... Like, the deal that you're making with me is that the game ends. You will not be ahead. Wild, man. So anyways, my point is that I think people like to get into the, like, weeds of multiplayer dynamics and stuff like that. And maybe it's just the people that I play with, the people I'm surrounded with, or just by virtue of me existing at the table, Like, it warps games because of how I play them. But it's literally just like, dog. You can play differently. There was another thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh, I got recommended. So I've been getting recommended Snail, which is a content creator that I believe some of my friends also watch. I haven't really watched, but I had a video open that I didn't finish talking about small bean syndrome. And this is my favorite because, once again, it's another principle of like multiplayer that you can evaluate outside of the idea that someone is going like, oh, but my deck is small bean, you know what I mean? So like so I guess what I'm saying is that there's two reasons. There's someone who is going to try and guilt you by saying, oh, I'm small bean, please don't attack me. You know what I mean? Like, that is... And then you could, on that axis, be like, okay, fine, I will not attack you. Right? And it'll work out, probably, and be like an okay game if this happens. But the reason isn't because you're being nice to the person who's small bean. Like, there's... And just to describe what that actually is, it's like... Let's say you miss land drops or something, and you're like, oh, well, I missed land drops, like, please don't attack me. Like, I'm small bean. Or like, oh, I only just have this, like, 6/6 on the board. Like, please don't... You know, please don't attack me. You brought a bad deck to socially jockey. Yeah, exactly. So, you know... And here's the thing. I think that it is fair for someone to look at the board state and say, like, this is usually how I present it, right? And you could say that this is saying, like, small bean syndrome. Is that I will say something like, my board is not developed. I do not think I have a problem right now. The ramp player has, like, 10 lands, and they have cards in hand. So I think they are the threat. Personally. I also have access to my own hand, which means that, like, you know, unless you think I am lying, I'm literally evaluating my hand and going like, yeah, I don't think this is it. Like, I'm just being real. Like, actually. I usually attack floor-coded players because they're better than me. Yeah, and like the thing is, these are all reasonable modes of play, right? I think that I get attacked a lot. I can't say that I don't. But the thing that I wanted to say was, yeah, in regard to small bean syndrome, is that this is how I evaluate it without being like, ooh, I'm small, please don't attack me. Is that like, okay, you have not developed a board state. I can, for the time being, because I need to deal with these other players, ignore you because you are not a threat. Right? It has nothing to do with you feeling bad about your own board state. Which, to be fair, like, let's be clear as well, that sometimes, you know, I play with my friends, so, and I want them to have a good time. So, like, there's a completely other axis of this that has nothing to do with winning the game, just to be clear. And that I also believe and think that that is a large part of playing games. It's not about, like, spiking and winning every single game. And I do have that mindset. Like, these are all, everything in balance. So I also have this mindset when I'm playing the game. I don't want to have to strip mine people every single turn to keep them down on 2 lands, but I will do that if I feel like it is important to do so. Which I frequently do to my one friend, because he plays lands and then will be like, ooh, small bean, and then fucking rolling Earthquake the table for 30. Like, so, like, listen, man. Sorry, I think I already told this story last week, but if I remember, I want to tell it again, because it's just so funny to me, man. But we're talking about small bean syndrome. So, the actual evaluation is, okay, think about the deck that they are playing. Can I deal with their deck later? Like, that is the actual way that I look at it. Which, usually, like, if they're playing an aggro deck and they're behind, I'm like, yeah, man, like, I don't care what you're doing over there, dude. Like, I'll counter the Crater Hook when it becomes a problem. Like, I don't need to deal with... Oh, goodness, I'm going to die. It's like, I'm going to not deal with this right now. And it's frustrating to me because I think for some people, like, you know, you do want to have a good time. You want the table to have a good time, in my opinion, because I think that the actual, like, the way that an EDH game will play out, like, heavily relies on, like, how the people at your table act in different scenarios of the board state, right? Like, the way that you win EDH has nothing, like, almost nothing to do with how well you're playing, and more so with knowing how your opponents play in regard to, like, certain things. And then you go like, okay, well, you know, what if they are aware of how you play the game? And then it's like, well, what if you're not consistent? It's usually how I see it. You have to have a certain amount of pseudo-randomization to how you play and approach the game because it is a multiplayer table. But if your opponents are too predictable, then I will end-step Deadeye Navigator you and get back down all of your lands forever. Yeah, I think one of my favorite games that I played recently was actually... I was playing against an Abzan Lands deck. Not someone that I usually play against, but... I guess this was more of like a gameplay win rather than like any kind of social or multiplayer aspect win, because that's what I was talking about previously. But my point is, I felt really cool doing this play, I guess. Is that I was already ahead on board, so, you know, maybe you can afford to be less impressed because of the fact that it's like, well, I mean, maybe the board state was already disparate, so, like, it doesn't matter. But this Lands player, I was gonna say colloquially, self-proclaimed is playing, like, mass land destruction. But the reason why they're playing it is so that they can sacrifice all of their own lands, and then, like, they're using it as, like, a combo win, which I think is more okay. Whereas, like, having mass land destruction where you just kind of, like, destroy everything with the thought of maybe getting an advantage, that's harder for people to deal with. Again, I'm fine playing against that, but, like, they were pretty open about saying, like, I will not Armageddon the board unless I have, like, unless I'm doing it to, like, win the game. So, okay, cool. They play an Archon of Emir, which is, like, probably one of my favorite cards. It's not actually, but I like Rule of Law effects because it makes instant speed so much better. Like, you become so powerful when there's an Archon of Emir on the table, if you have any instant speed interaction, because your opponents will play something at sorcery speed, and then you will fuck them by playing one instant speed spell on your turn. So, yeah, probably one of my favorite things is using other people's stacks pieces to just, like, win the game. What makes me even more rock hard is using other people's stacks pieces to win under their own stacks pieces, which is what happens in this story. Spoiler alert. That's a lot of damage. Okay. So this person plays, they were gonna play Elishnorn. 5-mana Elishnorn, no ETBs. This is relevant and important for my Derevi deck because it is an ETB deck, and the infinite combo in it is, you know, it involves entering the battlefield and untapping, like, Lotus Field with Deadeye Navigator. So, I had the Deadeye Navigator on the board, I had a bunch of mana, had an Aven Interrupter, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to blink Deadeye Navigator in response. Soul Bond it to Aven Interrupter, and then Aven Interrupter your spell. So they were like, oh man, you know, I have this Archon of Emir, I can't cast spells anymore, whatever. They're sad about that. Also, their Elishnorn got plotted, so... Haha, get wrecked. They go to end step, and I'm like, okay, like, Court of Calling for Biomancer's familiar? And they're like, I'm going to, like, Swords to Plowshares your Deadeye Navigator, or something like that. Like, I'm gonna interact with this. I don't know if it was a counter spell, like their own Aven Interrupter, or a removal spell for Deadeye Navigator, but they tried to interact with this combo, and I'm like, you have already casted a spell this turn. Oh, it felt so good! Felt real good, man. Felt real good. Yeah, nice stacks piece, dumbass. Have you considered why this would be absolutely terrible for you? I bet you didn't. That was a recent game. Felt really good about that one. There was another game actually that an opponent had a Draneth Magistrate. This isn't as long of a story, but I actually really like stacks pieces in EDH because of like keeping track of like just how much it changes at the table. So like this Draneth Magistrate basically was at the table for all like 8 turns of this very high power game in several different forms, because there was a Draneth Magistrate and then somebody copied the Draneth Magistrate and then like I blinked one of my clones to copy the Draneth Magistrate, and like this Draneth just did not go away. And it was kind of also a rotating door of like what was the other piece? It was Aethersworn Canonist. So there was also a rotating door of Aethersworn Canonist that it's like, okay, so there's an Aethersworn, but then like the Aethersworn is going to come back because I'm going to like instant speed revival spell it like on your turn after you casted your spell. It's just like, I don't know. I always like little, oh whoops, I didn't carve the tail yet. I always like little tricks like that. Those are fun to do. And I think that, I don't know, usually I play, I think, with people who are like at least moderately to decently good, who do similar things like that to me, and I'm like, oh shit, I got booty blasted into the next century. Let's see, did that talk about everything that I wanted to talk about regarding magic? Yeah, I think I used to play like constructed competitive magic, but like I now, well, thank you for that splash, I appreciate that. I used to play constructed competitive magic. I don't do it anymore because the formats are too expensive. And also, like, I don't know. I guess I might go back to doing it anyways, just for fun, but I feel like the formats are very, they're a little interesting right now. I used to play blue-white control, but I actually do think that a number of years ago I was, like, a lot worse at the game than I am now. So basically what I'm saying is I've retired to Commander, and it's fine, because Commander is interesting enough and has enough complexity, but also has the stipulation that it's like, there's only so much you can do. Excuse me. There's only so much you can do in the game. So like you can, there's enough of it that you can like let go, and it's like not that big of a deal. With enough depth that it's like, okay, I can afford to care about this because it's interesting and there are cool things happening at the table. That's the other thing too, I guess, is that did I not? Oh my god, it was a crystal horn. And I guess I didn't break its face because I'm stupid. Well, alright. Guess we have to run it back. That's my bad. I was too busy rambling about playing Magic. I don't wanna use. This is 3-piece. Oh no, but this is using Guardian. Oh my goodness, wait, this didn't have the Fulgur thing on it. Okay, well, I guess I can just change to Gunlance. That's probably fine. Let's restock. I should probably talk to Nanta. This has been a while. So that I can, you know, do all this material stuff that I have not been doing. I need flash bugs. Can you give me flash bugs, please? Flash bugs. You can give me flash bugs. Can you get me flash bugs? You can get me flash bugs. Sweet. Bye. By the time I remember to check that again, hopefully we'll be good. Hey, welcome. It sounds like you're a pro at card games. Oh, I was saying how I used to not be as good because I played Blue White. Used to play competitive card games.
Make sure you're prepared.
I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! I've actually played... The most amount of card games that I've played on stream was actually Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to do, like, dual room content, like, Fight Me IRL in the ring. I'm not huge on Yu-Gi-Oh! Honestly. Maybe the format's a little bit better now. Maybe I could get back into it. I don't think I'm going to, but... I got to... Back when the highest rank was Diamond, I got to Diamond with Medolces. That's kind of like what I did. However, I did participate in exactly one, like, streamer tournament to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was real bad. It was so bad. Please say one singular thing not connected to a card game for a second. I'm dying. Y'shtola is hot, and I want her to deal 4 damage to my face so that she can draw a card. Okay, so what was I saying?
By order of the guild.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! is
Don't let them go to waste.
Yu-Gi-Oh! is interesting. I think the reason why I didn't like Yu-Gi-Oh! At about the time that I quit was that, like... Oh, no sneak attack. Do I have earplugs? I don't remember. Card games on motorcycles? Yeah, definitely card games on motorcycles. I think the last deck that I was playing was Lab. I really like Lab. Lady Lab of the Lab. I don't know if that is still playable or not, but Lady Lab is very attractive. Big boobly anime girl. Okay, do need to remember in phase 3 to actually attack its face. Medolce, I think you played a lot. Yeah, I definitely remember playing Medolce, but the... as a small history lesson for Flaris is that I used to, like, grind online card games. Like, that's what I did in, like, my first college degree, basically. I would play a lot of competitive card games. I would play online grinders a lot. And I guess, like, the reason how I undermine my own achievements in this case is that, you know, I think that the way to win at a ranked ladder is to be good enough and then win 50% of the time. But of the games I have played that I have reached the highest rank for whatever the online ladder is, I got to Mythic in Magic Arena playing Simic Nexus. Oh my god. That deck was pretty broken though, so like, I don't know, maybe that doesn't mean anything. I got to, yeah, Diamond a couple of times, like several times playing with Dolce until it was like unplayably bad. I got to Master Rank in Vanguard, the first season of Vanguard, of their online simulator, playing Prison. I tried playing like different decks, like aggro decks, when I got to like the higher ranks, but I did mostly play Prison, which I'm going to... I've said this every time I brought up the card game or the Vanguard simulator, but there were a lot of people who cheated, and I do think that it's funny that most people, when like you call this kind of stuff out, like there's always the question of like whether you're just projecting, which I think is very funny to me. But it always pissed me off that the if you were losing, you could disconnect, and I will never forget this. I got fucking disconnected against by Usada Picora, and I will never forget that shit. Picora committing literal war crimes. It obviously wasn't Picora. It's just a fan. But yeah, if you got DC bugged, because if you disconnected, it would result in a null match. Like, the person disconnected wouldn't lose any points. But you would get paired against someone who's significantly lower ranked than you, presumably so that you could get your points for winning that game. That's what she wants you to think. That'd be really funny, but no. Yeah, so it was just really annoying because I felt like there were a lot of times where I clearly beat them and then they would DC bug. And I'm like, I don't want to have to play another game to get my stupid victory points. And sometimes that wouldn't even happen all the time. But yeah, I think there's a screenshot like way back on the community tab, maybe like 2 years ago or something, of me hitting master rank. Or specifically not master rank, I hit top 10 on the leaderboard. Which is, again, really funny because like I knew for a fact I played against other people at top 10. And like they DC bugged me. So it's literally like, I actually think I'm just the best player on this simulator because everyone else was too busy like scamming their games, and I'm like, nah, man, I literally just have like a 55% win rate. Like, it's not even that high. But yeah, the stipulation is that if you have a 55% win rate against the other best players in the game, then like you're basically rolling dice with that game. Usually the ways that you like win in tournament play is that there are people who simply cannot perform the same game actions that you do because they do not know how to. And that you can like get a leg up against players who are worse than you. So like that's how you'd win a tournament. But like on a ladder, you just need like 55% win rate because you're effectively playing top cut all the time at high rank. So yeah, got to top 10 in Vanguard, the Vanguard simulator, playing prison. So that was standard, not premium. I also like playing premium, just for the record. I play from time to time with my friends, but that format is dead. I got to Legend in Hearthstone playing Tempo Mage. That was like Secret Mage at the time, except it was playing Flame Waker, so it was a while ago. That deck was really fun. I really enjoyed flame waking people into the sun and then counterspell actually working. Is this gonna kill me? Oh, didn't. Yeah, so it was a mix of, I think Secret Mage just has its own stuff now, but previously, or at one point in time, actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if they were playing Flame Waker in that version, but I know I played Tempo Mage for a long time. That's what I got to Legend with. I played actually a lot of games of Golem Warlock, but I actually could not get to Legend with that deck. I got to like 5 stars or whatever, like 1 match away from getting to Legend with Golem Warlock, and I just like couldn't, it just didn't happen. Which sucks. I think it was like the best deck in the format at the time, but like just couldn't do it. I got to top rank in Shadowverse playing Rhinoceroach, like OG Rhinoceroach Storm combo, which in my opinion that deck was like crazy broken. Like it was a crazy broken combo deck. You might see the trend that, you know, I get top rank playing good decks. I don't know if that means something to you. But yeah, Rhinoceroach was a lot of fun. I really liked playing that deck. But everyone was always, like, obviously because it was the best deck in the format, like, everyone was so prepared. Like, man, mid-range Swordcraft just, like, kicked my fucking teeth in, man, every time. A stupid banner card. Imagine Flaris the Flag Bearer getting fucked by the banner card every time. There was, there was an enchantment or whatever, basically, that you could get that was, like, the most amount of damage you can ever perform is 4. And that always hard stopped me, because that was supposed to be the way you deal with Rhinoceroach. Basically, the way Shadowverse deals with combos is by, like, having floodgates similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! So, is that all of them? I think I'm missing one. Hearthstone, Yu-Gi-Oh, Vanguard, Shadowverse. I didn't do very well at Legends of Runeterra, Magic Arena. Yeah, like 5? Like 5 different card games that I've gone to top rank. Okay, we're in last phase. I need to make sure I break its face. Because we need the points. Rather, I need the points. So I used to be a ladder grinder, but I don't really care. I just enjoy playing card games. It's fun. Yeah, and I guess maybe part of the thing that I appreciate nowadays, because like I've basically retired to Commander, is I appreciate trying to figure out how to make the game good. Because you know, I think it's very easy for I cannot get to its head. I think it is very easy for Commander games to not be fun. Nice KO. So trying to make decks where it is like you at least get a fun game out of it, which is definitely the thesis of my Zedru deck. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I don't know if people know about the Zedru deck, but it's the point of the deck. Speaking of card games, did you heard about Balatro at Steam? I don't know if I understand. I played Balatro. Balatro is really fun. I like Balatro. You're like one of those ex-marines in an action movie that gets harassed by a few thugs at a bar or something. Beat the tire of them in a children's card game. Yeah, I mean, basically. It is very funny to me. They're gonna ask me about, hey man, like what? You play GOAT format in Yu-Gi-Oh? And I'm like, I was there when the format was born. It's just like, go sicko mode. Now, mind you, like I don't actually know if I'm like that great, right? I think there are people who are very good, probably, like, there are people at my LGS who, like, I respect, and, like, I think I wanted to wrap back around to this with the small bean syndrome thing, but there have been times, like, my, one friend, like, had an artifact aggro deck that was, like, quite good. Mardu, it, like, animates treasures into creatures, and then you attack with them. Really sick commander. I actually really liked that deck. It was quite good. He doesn't play it anymore. But I remember I was playing, like, Jeskai, which is more of a control deck, and they just, like, attacked me, dude. Like, they just hit me, and I'm like, man, we don't gotta do this small bean syndrome. You know, I threw out the small bean syndrome a little bit, and he's like, no, I'm gonna attack you. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. You know, reasonable. So, and I appreciate that, because I know that they're doing that because, like, probably, I didn't ask them, but probably their evaluation was, like, this is a control deck, they have a lot of cards in their hand, it's likely that they have a lot of removal or perhaps a board wrath, so I'm going to choose to, like, play a removal, try and get them out. Nice! Sick break, good break. Like, I'm going to remove them from the table so I can't get board wrath. Like, this is reasonable. I did not disagree with their evaluation, but yeah, I think there are people who, like, you know, play well, give me a run for my money. That, like, I don't think I'm crazy good or anything. Like I said, the only reason I did well on ladders was because I knew that I had a realistic goal, which was I'm shooting for 55% over the course of, like, 100 games, right? Like, I'm not out here trying to beat every single person at master rank. Like, I know that there were games that I was going to lose, and it's just, like, being consistent over time. So, I wanted to say something else. There was another thing that I wanted to say. What is it? Oh, I got a crystal horn. No, I think I lost it. I think I lost the thought. Oh, the Zedru deck. I was talking about the Zedru deck because, like, hate to break it to you, but consistency and persistence are what makes someone the best. That's, you know, that's reasonable. I guess what I'm saying is that, like, I am not arrogant about my own status of playing card games. You know, I will pick suboptimal lines. I will not be locked in. I will play bad decks, and I'm aware of that. That's kind of what I wanted to say. But the Zedru deck. So this is like my favorite deck, and I gave someone brain damage the other day. Not actual brain damage, but psychic damage, because my play group, the way that we say it is that we play for psychic damage. That's how we play Commander. It's all about running terrible bits and making people feel bad. Welcome, by the way, CG. I'm not sure what you mean about Limbus. I don't know. I don't play that game. So I got the Crystal Horn. I should be able to make this armor piece. Yeah. You're giving me brain damage right now. Yeah, so... the Zedru deck. So Zedru... what part of updating do you not get? Oh, are you saying you are updating it? So you're just popping in for a little bit? Chat? So Zedru's ability is 3 mana. That is a creature, so it's the commander of the deck. You can pay 3 mana to give one of your cards to another player. By I hope you mean 6 hours. Ah, I see. Okay, so it is updating for 6 hours. Is my understanding. I figured I'd answer this question because I don't know if you were still asking about it. Humanity. But yeah, like we've played Balatro before. It's decent. Decent game. I play it sometimes before I go to sleep. Just for funs. So there are people who don't like a card called Ristic Study. If you are unfamiliar with the card Ristic Study does, it's that you can... Now, mind you, you know, I respect and understand that there are some people who would not enjoy playing against this deck, and that's completely normal, just to be, like, clear. The deck is still trying to win despite how it plays, to some degree. But I understand that some people will be frustrated playing as a deck. Point is, okay, so, Ristic Study. Some people really don't like this card, because every time you cast a spell and there's a Ristic Study, the person playing Ristic Study needs to tell you, like, must remind you about the trigger. It is mandatory, even though the draw is not mandatory. Declaring the trigger and making sure that it happens is technically mandatory. Technically, on Green Sun Zenith, you need to shuffle your deck twice. Technically. I guess I'm doing Arena Quest now. Because that's what I need, so... Work on the Arena Quest stuff. Something... There's this one. Yeah, so some people really don't like this card. Now, it was my goal when making this deck to give Ristic Study to people who don't want it. And I can comfortably say, I can frankly say with a great degree of joy in my chest that I have, in fact, given a Ristic Study to a mono green player who really desperately did not want to be playing with a Ristic Study. And they were lamenting the entire game about how they had to keep track of the triggers and how, like, it was too much thinking for them and they didn't want to pay attention to the board state. And that made me very happy. But yeah, the purpose of the deck is to simply give one player or several players. My favorite is giving... So one of my favorite setups is to give one player Smothering Tithe and give another player Ristic Study, and then give the Smothering Tithe player an Altar of the Brood. So whenever one person casts a spell, there's a Ristic Study trigger. And then, provided they don't pay for the Ristic Study trigger, that person draws a card. Then there's a Smothering Tide trigger. And then if the Smothering Tide trigger is not paid for, a treasure enters the battlefield and they have to tell everyone to mill a card. That is like the dream scenario. That is like, we have hit peak trolling everybody at the table and pissing them off with triggers. But just the other week, I was playing with someone returning to the playgroup because they were away for... They were at like college, basically. University. They come back, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna play this deck. It's very funny. Don't worry about it. And they're like, oh my god, Ristic Study, that card's so broken. Yeah, exactly. So this is the bit. This is the full bit. Can't do it every time because it gets taken advantage of, but the question is, do you pay one for Ristic Study? Because that's the trigger. The trigger is if you do pay the one for Ristic Study. And the thing is, if anyone pays the one for Ristic Study, then I have to give it to them. Because they're paying one for Ristic Study. And then I give them the Ristic Study. Right? It's a great bit. It's a fantastic bit. And this person was not having it. Because, you know, they don't play as much Magic. So I did, in fact, give them, like, Ristic Study, Smothering Tide, Altar of the Brood. Like, I was getting milled out because they were casting 7 billion spells a turn. And at the end of that game, sort of towards the end, because I was trying to, like, not necessarily kingmake, sort of, but they were going to win the game. So in order to give another player at the table the best shot, I end-step C-rifted them. So they lost their, like, 56 treasures, Ristic Study, and Smothering Tide, all of those things. Unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, but, you know, they did still end up winning. They casted a Dance of the Mance for 5 and then ended up, like, you know, smacking the other guy. Which, you know, good for them. But my one friend was telling me about, you know, how they wanted to soup up his deck. They wanted to make his deck better and all that stuff. All that jazz. And some of the card choices that he was considering was like, yeah, I need to make sure that I run this card so that when Flares gives me a Ristic Study that, like, I can... And he's just like, dude, like this person is not going to be playing Zedru every time. And also, that deck is not good. You should not be making card decisions, deck building decisions based on that. So we successfully gave them psychic damage. Mission accomplished. 10 out of 10. Yeah, and one of the last games I played, actually, of Kingdoms was 2 Zedru players. There were two people playing Zedru. Oh, alright, I don't have to card this. And we were both the bandits, which I'm not going to explain the entirety of Kingdoms, but it was very funny. B, we were 1 second over! I mean, it was probably on me. I did something inefficient. If Capcom... Welcome to the cum zone. If Capcom, Mon on Wilds, what if they added a card minigame at Grand Hub? What do you think? Better? Numbers and matching numbers like Blackjack, or a card game with attack power and defense like Yu-Gi-Oh? So this is the interesting thing, and I think we saw this happen with your stupid longsword kept hitting me, Uwu, couldn't keep up DPS. Yeah, I mean, but like, aren't you supposed to be able to take my longsword? I thought that's like part of the stipulation here. Just get good, easy. Let's run it back. I'll try to not be hitting your face. I'll like actually try positioning. Because I think you need A rank to get pinnacle coins, right? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so I think we saw this with the release of V-Card, which, you know, was a card game. My friend ordered some V-Card, which is funny. Greatsword won't have that problem? I don't know. I just figured I'd bring it up. Yeah, so V-Card was basically just a war with extra steps, was kind of like what people said. That it was not an incredible game. Supposedly, they have, they're trying to rework the rules so that it's more playable, which is, like, good for them. I encourage that. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is that, like, I do think making a like, trading card game with trading card game rules is actually, like, kind of difficult. Like, you cannot half-ass that shit, because it will become immediately apparent to everybody playing, who plays, everybody who plays trading card games that the game is broken or unplayable. So, you do need to spend time actually balancing the systems. I heard Gwent from The Witcher is actually, like, very, very good, surprisingly. Back when I was playing Genshin, I was thinking of playing the Genshin trading card game, but I never ended up actually doing it. So, I mean, hey, if there was a Monhan card game that basically, like, used the Wyverns as summons and each of them had, like, spell cards or attack cards or something, like, that sounds really cool. But, you know... Wow, I just super armored through all of that. That's crazy. But I don't know, like, it's just a lot of development time, and I don't know how much, like, overlap there is between, like, people who play Monster Hunter and card games, right? So, I have no idea. Oh, please don't do this. Oh! Oh my god, I knocked it out of the air! Let's go! That was crazy. Also, why'd you bonk me? What is this for? I don't understand. Man, I love fighting Chatacabras. These silly little thick frog things. Also, it's one of the few things that actually licks me. Yeah, I think if you wanted to implement, like, standard card games, like, it's kind of funny, I think, because, like, making a deck of cards isn't too difficult, right? Like, Rathalos has the king card, Rathian has the queen card, like, very easy. I don't know what the jack would be. I guess you could have different decks for, like, each generation. Like, you could have the, like, I picture the Kutku as the jack. But, yeah, maybe you could customize it. I feel like over-customization maybe isn't the best, though, because, like, if you're playing with someone else's deck of cards and then, like, the jack is normally the Kutku, but then, like, they customize it, and then, like, the Kutku is the king, and, like, it just, like, throws people off, I think. That bonk was because I knew you were going to say something perverse in the future and I was right. I mean, how could you possibly have known that I would have said something degenerate? I'm very confused. How are you able to read my mind? They're called intrusive thoughts. And I have opted to not seek... It's terrible, it's so bad. I feel like I shouldn't even say that. I keep going to carve it, and it doesn't mean anything. Okay, intrusive thoughts. They're good. I think intrusive thoughts are good. Oh, we still got one pinnacle coin. I'm gonna go down a limb and say that it's probably me that's sandbagging, just for the record, in case you were wondering. Okay. Let's see, what can we make? We probably need Rathian coins, but there are these other things way at the bottom. What did you look into? So, I never ended up making the Blossom set, that's kind of on me. Silly me. Gourmand earrings needs pinnacle coins. Speed eating. Wide range is Rathian and Pinnacle coins. Oh my god, there's so much, man. Thank you for the head pat. 2 Rathian coins.
Watch this.
I know we at least have the shorts. Oh yeah, because I'm wearing them right now. But the skirt is also cute. Oh my god. It's a K you got as a B rank. It fits a worthless beta male such as yourself. Well, excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, equipment appearance. Let's turn on the skirt. What can I wear on top? Do I wear like a Damascus? Or something like an ingot? Let's see. It's a little goofy. Yeah, we're just gonna wear Damascus. And this has a symbol on it. I don't know which one is the symbol. Yeah, that's cool. Oh man, the symbol is so cool. Symbol being on there. I kind of want to make it gold. I don't know if I can pick a good color for it. Oh, it doesn't actually change the color of the symbol. The symbol is always white. Ah, so what am I changing? Is it the rim? I'd actually see what's changing. Oh well. I mean, it's good enough. Fine. Actually, what if I just... Can I set it to default? Default color. Maybe that means something. Oh, I think it is actually the rim. Maybe. We'll just do that until I see otherwise. Oh, is it the little thing on the... Oh, it is. Okay. I feel like I want to make it blue, but I'm going to make it white. And that's the tacit slot, so... Wait, one more thing. Just change this to... like some kind of armored something. Does this actually look good? Sure. Okay. If you play Arena just for the daily, you can technically... You can play it for 3 to 4 runs and wait for next week for reset. Oh, wait. So do you get more coins from doing... There's a weekly? For the arena? Oh, wait. But this doesn't give me coins. It just gives me ingredients. I don't know if I care about that. Let's do a couple more arena quests. Oh. What did I play last time? I think I played Gunlands. Played Gunlands. Rathian, why? Because we need Rathian coins. Where? sneak attack it. Ow. Going great. Going awesome. Takes so long to wyvern fire without artillery. I think probably the most sad thing about this fight is that I can't flash the Rathian. Like, I'd really like to, but they don't give us any flashes. It's so tragic. God, that wyvern fire feels so long. Oh, that's unfortunate. I hope they add more arena quests. I wonder how many people actually, like, do these. Because I'm doing it for fashion. It's not necessarily that, like, I would want to grind arena or anything like that. It's decently fun. I like getting preset stuff. And I guess to be fair, like, not getting flashes is nice because then you can't just, like, bully the Rathian. They probably don't give it to you so that you don't bully them. That's probably why. I'm gonna dip out. Time for me to work. Talk to you later. Alright, well, thank you for dropping by. Thank you for being here. Sorry we didn't get a chance to play. But, have fun at work. Whatever that means to me. Wait. Oh, oh, God. Ow. Oh, I was not getting up. I have work tomorrow. Use your time magic. Oh, man. You and I both know that I can't do that. It's irresponsible. But yeah, how many, sorry. I know that you're in here every once in a while. But I wanted to ask what, nice. I wanted to ask you how many episodes of Lyrilyte are out. We won't be doing it today, but I was thinking next week. I was wondering if there was like a chunk for us to watch. Because I remember asking like what we wanted to do as far as scheduling, but then we never actually did that. But I definitely don't have time today for this week, but maybe next week we can like schedule time before 4 o'clock was what I was thinking. To actually watch stuff. Would you rather do a monster or a monster girl? Why not both? Why not both? It really depends on like what kind of monster, you know? Because like I feel like tentacle monsters are very powerful. They've got strong aura. Episode 6 has come out, so quite a few. Yeah, the last one I watched was 3. When does it release? Like, what day is it released on? Thank you for the head pet. I really killed that Rathian. Thanks for looking cute while I carried you. Yeah, alright, Mr. I carted. Nice cart, by the way. How about a Chimera, then? Yeah, that is more leaning on the it looks like a dog. But, like, what's that tail doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we saying with that tail? Like, because usually the kinky reframe is usually that they've got, like different kinds of poisons, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got certain... That stinger is making you, like, something. They come out on Sundays? Okay, so by the sounds of that, Rance, that means we can watch episode 4 through 7 next week on Wednesday. So I'm going to tentatively say that we should do that. And that'll be a member stream, just because I don't want to, like, go live and then people, like, have no idea what's happening when we do anime watch-alongs. It also means that we can add to the catalog of animes that I have watched in members, instead of people getting constantly recommended the free run watch-along. What if I want to play Sword and Shield? I get the sense that if I play Sword and Shield, it's going to go a lot worse, but, like, let's try it. But yeah. Oh, so it's not a scorpion tail, it's a snake tail? Yeah, if the snake tail bites you and then gives you a little bit of a... Like, what that poison doing? That's all I'm saying. Oh, wow. Why does this Sword and Shield have nothing? That's fucking nothing, dude. Just wondering, Bullet, what is your conclusion on this one? Like, what are you saying? Oh, you know what I watched that was absolutely vile? I watched Bow and... Do you have barrel bombs? I have barrel bombs. Okay, that's... I watched Val and who's the other person? Spite? Smash or Pass Digimon. That was crazy. Surprisingly, Val did not smash Leo mode, which is, you know, he did say like, oh, like I have standards or whatever. It's like, oh, I'm sorry that like buff furry man wasn't on the bingo card, my bad. I just assumed. But yeah, I guess the design needs to be a little bit more, has to have a little bit more to it, I guess. Whoa. What was another one? I mean, obviously most of the female Digimon are, or at least the ones in the Smash and Pass list, right, are like pretty obvious. I was simply wondering which one you would prefer. Yeah, and I'm flipping the script. I'm asking you the question now. Where are you on the half of Monster versus Monster Girl? Where are you in on this? Or are you too much of a coward? Too much of a coward to say. Monster Girl? Yeah, I mean, that's the easy answer. Likely story. I'm just asking, like, what else can Megadramon shoot out of those missile hands? That's all I'm asking. Fine. Fine, it would be a monster. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Monster girls are cuter. Yes. That is the correct answer. I feel like when you say monster, you're thinking more about the utility. Or at least I'm thinking more about the utility. It's like it could be a monster girl with tentacles, you know what I mean? But like... a generic tentacle monster is fine too. Oh. Was that an offset? Did that actually work? Monsters are cooler and monster girls are cuter. I think that's reasonable. Again, I'm just thinking like utility here. And it's asleep again. Do you have barrel bombs? You don't have to do it if you don't want to. I guess you just don't. That is okay. We are on time attack. I don't expect you to respond. Oh, Jesus, the double tail whip. Oh, who is a tired baby? Oh, who's a sleepy baby? Honestly, that was me earlier today, except now I'm less tired. I took like a 2-hour nap, to be honest. I had to wake up for an appointment today, and it turns out that the appointment was actually 1 hour later than what I thought, so... That's funny to me. Ah, a little bit slower. Like about like a minute or so. That's fair. Sword and Shield is not as good DPS as Gunlance, so it is what it is. Also, the Gunlance setup has Might Seeds, so I have no bombs in both of your sleeps. I had no ant state. That's really funny. That's actually super funny. Yeah, I don't know how we would coordinate that. I feel like Gunlance having wide range and Might Seeds is actually, like, kind of important. Did you want to try it again? Except, I'm on Sword and Shield and you're on Gunlance? Because I get the sense that the Sword and Shield set probably benefits from swapping to Hammer for a KO, but yeah. No? Okay. Sure. Let me see if I have enough Rathian coins. Also, I guess the Gunlance set has bombs. It's good for getting to sleep. I do still need more Rathian coins.
Watch this. All right, watch this.
Yep.
All right.
Still need like 7 of them. I like to have a dragon monster because it's cool. How can you not pass on that? And like... And I would like a kobold monster girl because I can pick her up and hug her when I sleep on my dragon. This is all very reasonable. This is all very reasonable. I was gonna say, like... Okay, but... Monsters are conceptually hot because of their raw power. Yes. I mean, I didn't want to say it, but, like... You know... Rathian is bigger than me. You know what I mean? So, like, there is that sense of, like, if you're under her talons, right? Like, she just, like, she could, like, choke me between 2 talons, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's powerful, man. I don't know. I do always find these funny because, like, I think I am someone who appreciates the... I mean, how would you say it? It's like, if there was an actual Rathian IRL, would I fuck a Rathian? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not... Like, probably not. You know? But I think as a thought exercise for whatever that generates in my head, it's, oh, I don't know how to go... Can you cancel? Oh. Oh, I thought you were telling me to try Hammer, my bad. Yeah, it's kind of like... You know, yeah, and it's the same thing with... Rance is mentioning a succubus, which, you know, I'm sure he's saying other things too that matter here. But I'm thinking to myself, like... You know, would I actually want to be drained of all of my essence and die? Probably not. Is it funny to think about and be like... Yeah, what if the succubus, like, literally killed me? You know what I mean? It's neat. So it's like having that slight separation. A monster succubus or a monster girl succubus? I mean... How do you feel about getting absolutely destroyed by an incubus? What are we saying here? Oh. Nice KO. Well, I guess I could be going for this lead. For these barrel bombs, because you also have barrel bombs. I don't know what I asked, it just came out. Clearly you're being influenced by a succubus. But yeah, I don't know. I do kind of wonder if there are people who are like... You know, they're freaky with it. They're like, no, actually, 100% would smash a Rathian, no hesitation. No judgment. I'm just saying that, like, I know for myself, there's at least gonna be a bit of a question mark, you know? Like, what if she kills me, dude? Like, I don't know. Like, the tail poison's, like, lethal, man. Like, I don't know, man. Paralysis is probably a good time for me to do this. Oh, that actually worked. That's hilarious. Oh, I have the Rock City mantle. I didn't need to block. Not that it mattered. I felt like there was something that I wanted to say in my brain when you're like, okay, but what if she was an OnlyFans girl? Right? I don't quite know what it was. What do you sub to a succubus as OnlyFans? Like, I don't know, man. I guess a better picture of what, like, a domesticated wyvern would look like would be kind of like the, like Monster Hunter Stories. They actually do that in that series. They domesticate wyverns. To prepare me for not being too scared of the wyverns. Isn't there a Pokemon like Monster Hunter game? Yeah, Stories is like a turn-based, you actually have like... My understanding was that you have domesticated, basically, wyverns. You have like a Rathalos buddy pal buddy. How did we get the eggs back? That's my question. How did we get them? How did we make... How did we make Bebe Raccoon? I am dying. But also it is dying, and I'm hoping that I can just do enough damage. Hopefully it just dies here. Ah. It's too bad. I wanted to force it. It was not forcible. He's coming in with the back shot. Ah, I missed. There we go. Hammer has the worst offset? That's what I've heard. Or rather, that actually isn't what I've heard. That's what I have experienced in trying to use it. But I don't really play offset weapons anyways, so I don't think I have a good sense. Okay. That's gonna be it for today, I think. Just a short little check-in of playing some Monhun, and wow, my stream deloaded. That's crazy. Yeah. Let me get all the chats back open again. Yeah, so that's gonna be it. if you're still here, to say, hey, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I got completely distracted. I appreciate your support as always, and I will see you next time. Okay. I'm going to fuck Rathian and Zoshia. In what way? What are you referring to here? I guess we're going to be doing a Hero X watch along in members, if that's something you're interested in. Join membership. And we're doing more Monster Hunter on Friday, and then back to Blueprints on Saturday, and Fire Emblem on Sunday. I do want to get back to Fire Emblem, but I will also mention that I'm not here next week on the weekend. I will be out of town, so that's an early reminder for that, for anyone who cares about that. Yeah. See how that goes. So, thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye. Bye.